Today, I'm going to show you how to create two different flue powder props, and one has an ingredient that creates a magical green flame. Okay, so to create our sand prop version of flue powder, we will first need some sand, and you're going to want to pick the lightest color that you can find, as close to white as possible. That way it will accept the coloring we're going to add to it the best. We will also need one glass container, and I am using one that has a wooden spoon attached to the side just because I think that would be a nice addition for flue powder, so then that way you can kind of spoon the flue powder out. For both versions, we will need a cup and some spoons for mixing, some green liquid food coloring, and you're going to want liquid and not gel because the gel didn't really give into the dry ingredients. It's better for wet things. So the wet liquid version of the food coloring did better here than the gel normally does. Some optional glitter, some black cording, and some gray paint. Then for the borax version, to create the green flame, we will need borax, and if you have made any type of slime, you know exactly what this is. So this is the 20 Mule Team version. It's only like $3-4, something like that, and it's a detergent booster, so it's completely safe. I wouldn't recommend having kids handle it, but other than that, it is something that you would find in your grocery store and you would use in your laundry room. We will need another glass container, and again, this is another version of a container that already has a spoon attached. Again, I just like that you would be able to scoop the flue powder out to use it. To create the green flame, we will need Heet, which is a gas line antifreeze and water remover, and you can find this in the automotive section of most grocery stores or at an automotive store like AutoZone or something like that. It is Methanol Alcohol, so again, it's not something that's, you know, out of the ordinary or something that's completely dangerous, but at the same time, if you are someone who is not an adult, please seek adult supervision, especially for the flame portion of this. But again, this is only a couple dollars, so something very inexpensive you could find at the grocery store. A heat-resistant container to make the green flame in. So this is a 400 milliliter Pyrex beaker, but you can use anything that's heat-resistant. It could be a pan, anything like that. And finally, we will need our labels printed on sticker paper, and the link for this is in the description down below. Let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I want to change the color of both of these lids and the spoons to a gray, but I don't want it to be a completely opaque gray. I kind of want it to look like a gray stain. So we're going to take our water-based acrylic paint. It can be any brand, it doesn't really matter. And we're just going to take a little bit and put some on a paper towel because we're almost going to create a stamp effect. So all I'm going to do is take this and kind of smear it onto the paper towel, and then I'm going to take my cork, and all I'm going to do is stamp it into the paint and kind of rub it off because I just want to color it, but I don't want it to get rid of that cork quality of it. So that way it just kind of changes the appearance of it and kind of makes it go better with the label that we have created. And we're going to do the same thing with our other top. Okay, so while our lids and spoons are drying, I'm going to go ahead and color our sand and borax. So the first thing we're going to do is take our sand, and I'm just going to pour some in here. And then we're going to add our food coloring. So I'm going to add about 3 drops of food coloring to this. And we're going to mix it with our spoon. Okay, and once we get our sand colored to the color that we like, and I think this is a good color, then we can add some glitter if you'd like, or you can just leave it this color right here. I'm going to add a little bit of glitter to this one since it is the prop version. And as you can see, we just get a very light, glittery look to the powder. So I think that's perfect. So now we're going to go ahead and mix up the borax. And we're going to do the same thing and add our borax solution and our green food coloring and mix it all up. And now that we have our borax mixed to about the same color as our sand, we're going to go ahead and embellish our jars. Okay, so as any of you who are not new to my channel know, I like to print my labels on sticker paper. It just makes life a whole lot easier. But if you don't have sticker paper, you can just print this on regular paper and then use Mod Podge or something to, some sort of glue to put it onto your jar. But the sticker paper is really great, and all I do is cut these out and then I take a matching marker and go around the outside edge just to give it a little bit more of a finished look. And in the document that I've provided for the labels, I actually gave you 2 different sizes so that hopefully it'll work for, a couple different size jars for you. Okay, so all we're going to do is peel the backing paper off of our label here. And then we're just going to stick it on our jar. And now we're going to stick our label on our other jar. And this one's a little bit smaller than the other one. We're just going to peel the backing paper off. And fun fact about Floo powder, it has not been able to be replicated by anyone besides Ignatia Wildsmith, who was the original creator of Floo powder. And it is sold in Diagon Alley at flo-pow. And it's only 2 sickles a scoop. So it's very affordable for witches and wizards to be able to travel safely through Fireplace. It's a really great form of transportation for witches and wizards that had underage kids so that they wouldn't have to apparate because they could use Floo powder so that the kids could safely arrive to the destination as well instead of just using a broom or something along those lines. Okay, so now that we have our labels on our jars, we're going to go ahead and fill them up. Okay, so we're going to fill our first jar up with our borax solution, and I chose not to put glitter in the borax solution just because we are going to light it on fire, and I don't want the glitter to add any extra little sparks or anything like that. So we're just going to dump it in. And we're going to do the same thing with our sand container. Okay, and I want to take these one step further by adding a little bit of black cording around the necks of the bottles. Okay, and to do this, we are just going to take our cording and we are going to create a U. And then we are just going to take our string, capturing the U and go around the neck of our bottle. And once we get our jar sufficiently wrapped, we're going to take our end and we are going to put it up through the loop. And then we are just going to take the bottom string and tighten the loop. Gotta make sure this bottom one is tight. There we go. And then we're going to pull that tight enough that it drags our top cord behind the wraps, and then we can just cut it flush. And once we've cut that flush, then there's no need for any other glue or anything like that. And then we've got it fully wrapped. We'll add our spoon back in, and we're going to do the same thing to the sand bottle. And now that we have both of them wrapped, there you have it. These are our finished containers of Floo powder. So we have our sand version that's purely a prop, and we have our borax version, which will be a fun party trick. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to create the green flames with the borax solution. Okay, so to make our green flame, all we have to do is uncap our borax solution. And we are just going to add a couple spoonfuls to our heat-safe container. Again, I'm using a Pyrex container because they are made to withstand the heat. And then we are just going to take our heat solution. It's very important that if you buy the heat, that you make sure you get the yellow one, because the yellow one is the methyl alcohol. And we just add a little bit in. And it's important to note that when this is burning, it's not actually burning the borax, it's burning the alcohol. But just keep in mind that this container will get very hot. So please be careful. If you are going to light this, make sure it is under adult supervision, and make sure that you have the proper precautions taken when using any sort of flame. So to do this, we are going to use a long lighter because I do not want to be anywhere near it when it goes up. And all we have to do is click our lighter on and get close. And there you have it. It is lit, and we are going to get a green flame. So I'm going to turn my light off so you can see. And we have a really great green flame. And there you have it, our Floo powder in two different ways. One is just a prop, and one that has an ingredient that when added to the methyl alcohol creates this magical green flame. So if you like this video, give me the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and we will catch you guys later. Thanks so much.